We now turn our attention to golf, PGA Tour Golf, the OHL Classic in Mexico. I will say straight away, apologies for the voice. I've been a bit under the weather this week, but it's not going to prevent me giving my picks. And I hope it doesn't prevent you giving your picks in the comments after you listen to the video. But this course is the El Camaleon course in Playa del Carmen. Greg Norman designed, par 71, 6,987 yards. It's not the longest course in the world, as you can see, under 7,000 yards. And, there'll be a premium on driving accuracy. There'll be a premium on, keeping your game tidy, not hitting it offline too much, keeping it in play, and just keeping a nice, clean and tidy scorecard. Looking at the market, Ricky Fowler is taking part in this tournament, and he's going off at 9-1. You've got Pat Perez, who's the defending champion, a winner for us on this channel not so long ago, a couple of weeks ago. He's available 12-1. Looking down the list, we've got Patrick Reed 20-1, Gary Woodland 20-1. Reed is someone we've supported on this channel. We've also supported Woodland in the past. Reasonable figures, I think. I mean, Reed, quality player. Same with Woodland, very powerful. We still have said a few times on this channel, we think Woodland's capable of a bit more. In a field like this, it could be dangerous. 20-1, we'll be looking for a bit more value. We're going to continue our hunt. The first player I'm going to pick out is Zach Johnson at 25-1. The 2015 Open champion and a former Masters champion. We back him on occasion when there is a premium on accuracy. You can't do a lot better than Zach Johnson. He doesn't hit it miles, but very tidy player, very good short game, very good wedge game, very good around the greens. And when his putting is on, he's dangerous. And in this sort of field, in a course where there's a premium on accuracy, we can't look past him. So we're going to take Zach Johnson, 25-1. Looking down the list, the next person we're going to go for is someone we were with last week. This is Bryson DeChambeau, who's at 40-1. Last week he played extremely well. He was having an amazing final round. He had a tilt. He had a shot at winning the event. He was second at one point, but then, he kind of fell apart in the last sort of 5 or 6 holes. He's a quality player. We know what he's capable of. He's a young guy. He's one for us on this channel. We're going to stay with him. In a field like this, I think he has a chance. Someone else who did last week is JJ Spawn. And that's someone we're going to take as well at 66-1. Spawn should have won the tournament last week. He was leading for a long time. And then I think it was a couple of double bogeys right at the end of the tournament that proved to be his undoing. Typically, I'm not so keen in backing players week after week. I mean, golf is a game where, there's a lot of moving parts in your swing and things can change a lot week to week. Having said that, it's not that's the real concern. The real concern is the emotional damage that would have been caused having led the tournament for so long and probably expecting to win. 2 double bogeys at the end. It's not the nicest way to go into next week. But I'm going to go against all that. I'm going to take the line that he played very well for 3 rounds, or 3 and 3/4 rounds, basically. It seems to be in good touch. 66-1 doesn't seem to, have taken notice of that. I think they've shaved a bit off him. I think he was about 80-1 last week, to be fair. But, I think the form that he was in, it was special. So we're going to back him, just keep it online, put those, double bogeys behind him, put the disappointment behind him, and perform well this week. We're going to take Graham McDowell at 40-1. He's someone I've stayed away from for a while, the 2010 US Open champion, but I've had to come back to him for this particular course. The challenge that this course presents, keeping it tidy, not a course that requires you to hit the ball miles. McDowell doesn't hit the ball miles, but he does put it away, does plot his way around the course, tremendous course management, a good wedge player, and, anyone who's won the US Open knows how to play tidily. So Graham McDowell, Ryder Cup player. Fair to say, hasn't been in the best of form, not been playing to the sort of standard that we've become accustomed to seeing from Graham McDowell. But on this sort of course, in this level of field, fancy him to bounce back. So Graham McDowell, 40-1. He'll be added to our selections. We're also going to look towards the RBC Canadian champion, Canadian champion, the Venezuelan Jonathan Vegas at 80 to 1. I think he's actually won that tournament, the RBC Canadian, the last 2 years, so he can play. He's a big hitter. He's very talented. Just looking down the field and looking at the odds available, I think 80 to 1. I think it underestimates his abilities slightly, the 33-year-old. I did watch him. I was actually betting on the guy he beat in the playoff at the RBC Canadians, actually on Charlie Hoffman, who was in very good form at the time, very consistent. And Vegas, had too much for Charlie Hoffman and saw him off. So he has ability. There's no doubt about it. You don't win that tournament 2 years in a row without having something about you. And at 80 to 1, I think is a fair number. So, as per usual, we've looked past the short prices at the head of the market. We've looked past Ricky Fowler at 9 to 1. We've looked past Pat Perez at 12 to 1. But instead, we've gone for value and we've gone in favour of Zach Johnson at 25 to 1. Bryson DeChambeau, 40 to 1. JJ Spawn, 66 to 1. Jonathan Vegas, 80 to 1. And Graham McDowell, 40 to 1. Those are my selections. Please give any selections you think have a chance this week. Give any comments generally regarding golf. Like and subscribe. I would also add these odds at each way as ever. Prices I've taken off from Betfair Sportsbook. But do shop around, get yourself the best prices. Enjoy the tournament, and I'll see you next time.